You're live. Please ask your question.
I think you're on mute, Trevor.
Please
I think you're on
unmute
mute,
yourself.
Trevor.
Okay, yes, thank you. We have a situation, it's for the Minister of Health. There's a couple in Boston that went up to get medical attention. They are due to arrive back on island, and they're watching as we speak. They're due to arrive back on island on Saturday on JetBlue. Last night, and I'm reading from what they sent me to ask. Last night, they were approved with their pre-authorization. They paid the $75 fee. They got an email that states that they are not allowed to enter Bermuda. They need to go back and fill out a form again. And their question is, they both tested negative. They both received the vaccine shots. So the question is, why is it that they're having difficulty returning home? Minister of Health.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. They can contact the COVID hotline. However, oftentimes from what you described, if persons do not, all residents are allowed to land, but if they don't upload their results properly, the TA will automatically be rejected. So they can contact the hotline up until 8 o'clock this evening. So tell them to give a call now at pardon?
They're watching.
444-2498, option 1. And they're open right now until 8 o'clock. But oftentimes the case is this, they don't upload the proper information in a correct way. So tell them to call now and they'll talk them through the process.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Trevor.
Cheers. This one is for the Premier. Premier, you mentioned earlier about and I send my condolences to those members of our community that have lost loved ones to this coronavirus. But Premier, you stated that due to my question is, do you not take responsibility for the latest state of affairs here in Bermuda? If you would have shut the island down earlier, would not be at this point? What do you say to that, Premier?
Trevor, I say hindsight is 20/20. Anything that happens in the country is a responsibility and decisions which are made. We are not looking backwards. We're moving forward. We've laid out a plan, and we're going to execute that plan, and we hope that people will support that plan.
Okay. Let me get a supplementary on that one.
It's still a question.
I'll pass it on there. I'll pass it on B. So I got 2 questions left. Premier, what is the success rate of your WeHealth app? The app is, how is it working? Because I've been in contact in the company of individuals where they have identified as positive and looked at my WeHealth app, and it stated no exposure detected in 14 days. And I had a few people that said the same thing. Is this app really working?
Trevor, I can speak from personal experience as I was able to receive a code from the Ministry of Health due to my positive coronavirus test result, and entered that diagnosis in the app. And persons who I was in close contact with did receive notifications on their phone. What we have to remember is that this is a privacy-based application. It is not something that can be tracked by government, and it requires persons to enter into their positive diagnosis and to share that positive diagnosis. But we are comfortable that the app is working. We do know that people have contacted the Ministry of Health and the helpline because they have received the notification from the WeHealth app that they have been in contact. We also know that there are persons who have received low exposure notifications because entire offices were using it and were not necessarily required to quarantine. So we do know that the app is working, but it requires individuals who receive a positive diagnosis to enter that information in the app. It is not something that can be controlled by the government. It is not something in which we can look at. It is a privacy-built app, and that is the reason why it is so important. But that is the reason why, in some cases and instances, someone may say they have been around someone, but if the information is not entered, then that's the challenge there.
Okay. My last question. I've been in the presence of many people that have told, that stated that some people are still losing their houses. I was hoping that the finance minister, when are you going to bring the finance minister in, one? And two, has there been any updates on individuals getting second drawdown from their pensions? Because people are struggling, Premier. I was told to tell you by one elderly couple that have their own home and they are years of supplies. Can they not draw down? Can you assist?
Thank you on that. Just a couple of things. Pensions are always a difficult circumstance, and I know that persons may always want to have access to the pension. The first thing which I would say is that the pension allowance for people who did not withdraw anything from their pension account still does exist. The second thing is the Minister of Finance has indicated that there is going to be a policy change because we recognize that there are some persons who did not withdraw the maximum 12,000 and only are allowed to make one withdrawal. So I got a message from someone who had withdrawn 6,000 who wants to go back to 6,000 and they're unable to do so. The Minister of Finance has indicated that that will change, and so those individuals will be able to do so. The third thing which I must indicate is that individuals who are at imminent risk of loss of their house, who need for rental arrears, emergency medical items, or others, they are able to qualify under financial hardship provisions which are there. So there will be no one who will lose their house because they cannot access their pension, because they're able to go ahead and have access to the pension if it means that if they do not have access to the pension, they will lose. Is there that is set out, and those things do exist. The Minister of Finance has discussed additional matters. He's discussed those things with the Pension Commission. You've asked when the Minister of Finance will be here, and we're going to be returning to bi-weekly press conferences now that we are out, not bi-weekly press conferences for the coronavirus, but bi-weekly press conferences, the Minister of Finance, Minister of Labor, etc., as we begin to move forward. Because I hope you and the public will recognize that the government has been engrossed with the work of making sure we protect life and lives at this time. So I understand that there's been people who've written into my office. So the news are that the policies and laws will change around persons who may not have drawn the full 12,000 but wish to access more. There's examination of what can be done for those persons who did access the full 12,000 and may require more. It certainly will not be up to 12,000 again, because we're not shut down for as long as the period of which there was. But in the case and instance where people are facing the loss of their home, facing a threat of eviction and other things, they are able to access those funds.
Thank you.
Thank you, Premier.
Thank you very much, Trevor.
TNN, that was your last question. Premier, there are no more questions from the media.
Thank you very much, Madam Director. I want to thank all the ministers who attended. Thank the Minister of Education who didn't get any questions, Minister of National Security as well. Minister of Health, thank you again for your team and all the work which you've done in CMO. Thank you very much. And Dr. Miller, I'm sure that the teams over there at the Bermuda Hospitals Boards are gratified that there are less cases in the hospital than there were just a few weeks ago. People of Bermuda, we certainly have made progress, but we do have a way to go. As we move into the next phase of this reopening, please continue to obey public health guidance. We still have community transmission of this virus in Bermuda. There are still cases which are showing up that are unlinked to other cases, and we must make sure that we practice the normal things that are necessary. Washing our hands, wearing our mask, and making sure that we maintain our physical distance, and we as a country will be okay. I thank you to everyone who's been listening. Thanks to members of the media for your questions, and I want to wish all the mothers of Bermuda, including my mother and my wife, a very happy Mother's Day. So with that, I want to say thank you, Bermuda, and good night.
Okay. Yes. Welcome back. Karibu. Hetepu. Salamte. Atagwan. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to dCyfa. So look, let me put on that banner. Check it. So you see the let me pull it back. Well, you ain't gotta pull it up. So we is getting into the constitutional challenge issue that was brought up by Charles Richardson and Aaron Hill, and they had that interview today. We listened into the interview and considered some of the considerations around that issue, right? Yes. Let me do some greetings and we get into the topic real quick, cause hey, look, man, this whole thing's taking a pace and a speed that we got a old trouble how we're dealing with this. Yes, Toy, greetings, bless up, Toy, bless up. Being in the spot from earlier, Toy was in there from soon as he clicked the thing on. Yes, Kanta, bless up, Canterbury IV, Cindy, bless up, family. Princess Can in the spot. Yes, Mike here. Sophia here. Bless up. Mike back, I mean. You know what I mean? Frenchie. Giving her support, sending her love always. Bless up, Frenchie. And the support and energy. So look, so we was discussing the government issue. I brought up the theme song. I don't even know if I'm gonna do meditation tonight. I'm just coming after that update just now, linking at right. Well, I'm thinking of doing just something quick, cause look, we got to really shift gears. This some of the things that's being shared in the Telegram group, some of the things that are taking place, definitely locally, definitely globally. You heard the premier just now. We was listening in, before we started. Finishing up, so I was playing it over the stream a little bit, and I turned it on like about 6:15 or so, 6. So I listened for about an hour, and nothing really new there. The buckle, they double down. They don't consider anything else other than the main narrative that they've been pushing all this time. They double down. On their statements, there's no example of thought or considering options in any of their presentations, anything. It's just reading from the script, come and delivering this thing. And then we was considering the whole constitutional challenge. I'm looked at it, evaluated some things, talked to a friend, a associate that's in the legal space, wasn't able to get through to Charles directly and get him to comment tonight. We could see if we could schedule something later in the this weekend, next week. But yes, Sophia, yes, time for fire, people. That is the energy. She's captured it right there, and that even this coming live on this show like this, we're gonna have to do two things. My YouTube just came back up, so this is going out on YouTube too. But even still, what we do is, I'm thinking we do the first couple minutes in this, and then we go into Telegram or something, and we got some real planning started. So, because this situation is very, very, very real. Yes, up, Winston. Bless up. Sending, blessings to everybody. Give thanks. Yeah, this situation is real as real, and I'm not sure the compromise that our premier, or your premier, or David Brett, however you want to call this, character that comes on the screen and reads out these updates, however you want to refer to him, your personal relationship, whatever, or whatever. Point being, saying that it is too much pieces globally going on for him not to be a part of some bigger agenda. There's some bigger agenda going on, people. Like, and what got to pick up. I mean, I don't think constitutional challenge, me personally, my assessment, listen to the story, talking to my legal friend, saying, or legal associate, that they probably in it, that win that case from what he heard, the presentation, not to put down, it got to inspect it, but he just felt, that was his feeling. They probably wouldn't even win that case. It's the way that he talked about it, he gave up too much information. It was just Maybe that was just one person, so that I could put that down to whatever, just anecdotal. But same reason. Outside of that whole issue, I don't even think that's me personally. I don't think that's a significant issue. It's time to really get our feet on the ground and build some pieces. Let's look. We ought to take this to Telegram, not or one of these platforms. I promote, because we already got the Telegram thing building and going. Get in there if you're really in looking to put some things in place so we can really. Look, I don't even want to put no labels on it, but we got to get to work. If you think that we are in any way, shape, or form, particularly people of color, that we're being targeted because there's tremendous evidence building on this case. You know what I mean? The premier just said it, or this guy just said it. Was it the premier or the 90%, unfortunately, he says, 90% of the people that have died from COVID-19, whatever that even means, are black people. So just hearing that reiterated what was being shared, what was shared in Telegram, what's coming up on this, being shared, the information that's being shared currently right now, that's definitely speaking to, some dark forces at work, people that's been put together for years. And if we don't pay attention and organize ourselves and get get this arc built, which is figurative and literal at the same time, and get, you know what I mean, construct these pieces under our terms as soon as possible, secure some of the basic necessities we need and whatnot, and protect our children. I just want to reiterate that right now. Protect our children. It's just this focus on them and young females, females in general, young females, our young people. They already targeted our seniors. I think that was an early phase, and now this, you know what I mean? To say I have the evidence for the motive for it, no, I can't really speak on the motive for it myself, you know what I mean? My limited amount of research, and that's why we're coming together to have these talks. But I'm feeling like this is not the space for like this level of the talk. That's what I'm basically promoting. Let me see. Sophia says we need to meet every naturally immune traveler and every traveler who does not take the experimental gene therapy at the airport with fire. Okay. I see where we're. So look, this is what I'm saying. Okay, so Sophia, what I say is, look, hold on this Facebook piece. I'm wary of that. I'm wary of the Facebook thing, and so I'm gonna look to take this dCyfa and what we're doing here, this type of thing, to a different platform. First off, that's one thing. So Facebook's gonna be a limited time, if not tonight, coming off of Facebook. And so we got to find another way, and Telegram's the first step in that. But because we already got the pieces moving in Telegram, right, heading to Telegram, yes, and send them ideas, send that. Let's start channeling our things to channels where we have some more control of it, because we have no control in Facebook, and definitely not on YouTube. A little bit more on Twitch. This also goes out to Twitch and Periscope or Twitter. But yes, give thanks, Toy. So there's some tools and stuff in Telegram. We can have these group calls. Remember, Toy, we had it the other day. We had that group call. You know what I mean? So we can come in here, have a little. This is what I'm proposing, the format going for. We come in here and do a half an hour, have a nice little general talk about some of these concepts, and develop this critical thinking skill. That this can still fulfill that goal. But this issue right now, this issue of this, it could be a Zoom. It could be Zoom too, because Zoom has a degree of privacy. They upgraded their privacy, but it's still not like Telegram. You know what I mean? People can pop into rooms and things. It's still backdoors. We could look at it. I don't want to get overly. Well, I'm definitely not trying to paint that doom and gloom, and be overly dramatic. I'm not trying to paint this dramatic picture right now. What I'm saying is real. It's the target in our young people. This effort in these next 2 weeks to get children vaccinated. It's going to be more and more, we're going to hear about it more and more. The pressure they're putting on us to get them back into school so that they can, right, the voluntary consent so that they can test them, the saliva testing. And then the next is just stepping it up and progressively going to layers and layers to get at our children. We won't even get into heavily the sterility issue that's coming to the forefront of a lot of conversations. This issue of sterility. So all of these pieces, I'm definitely not gonna delve too deep into that right now in this space right here. But what I did want to do real quick is go over this. I got this one piece was shared. I'm trying to think where I found it in another Telegram group. I think I found it. I'm gonna go over that real quick. And then let's go to Telegram and do. So if you're not already in the Telegram biological warfare, you go to this and then I'll post let me put it up and then I'll post it. You can go from here to this dCyfa will get you to the main page, and then I'll point you to the biological warfare page, and then we could continue the conversation in there and get down to what some real solutions. So we're not giving up our whole story, because that was basically what came out of the conversation with a legal friend, pretty solid. And he was saying, look, he don't even know why they came and gave that case, like Charles would give his case like that, and government could just prepare for it. He didn't see them, they basically showed their cards type of vibe. So anyway, that being just reflecting on it myself, all of this coming together, the other pieces that were taking place, conversations taking place and things, and it just made it clear. What got to shift our strategy. If we do see this as the targeting us, even the potential and the possibility of it, then we got to step up our level of protection. You know what I mean? And strategize in ways so that we can, be effective and not putting ourselves in harm's way unnecessarily. And the plan, not whatever we're tending to do. You know what I mean? There's the strategy component of it is somehow do this, not necessarily straight out here like that. Anyway, point being, beating around the bush to say, look, go to the Telegram, hit that link. I'll point you to the biological warfare conversation, and we can have it in there and discuss solutions and tactics, strategies. That you know what I mean? Because the target on our children will be the next focal point for this next coming 2 months, 6 weeks. You know what I mean? It is clear as day. And they're already targeting females. We've seen that. We talked about it this week. This is I don't know what else evidence we need to say that this is real. To say it's a game. To say it's not a game, because we still need that lightheartedness, that this physical reality ain't the whole thing anyway. You know what I mean? That there is a reality beyond this. So this is just physical. And what's supposed to be is supposed to be. But at the same time, we're supposed to resist this lack of humanity that we're going in this direction. In that light, I'm going to bring this piece up. And like I said, I'm not even going to go into the heavy meditation tonight, and because we already had to listen to that. Let's say that come back in the morning, because I got some things on my head anyway. Come back in the morning. We come at 9 a.m. do the group meditation, get into a bit of vibe, celebrating things. But tonight I just wanted to talk a little bit about this, and then get to go to Telegram and get in heavy. But let's take a look at this. This is I like the picture image type presentation of things, and as a discussion point to go off, and we can discuss some of these points on here. We can also definitely evaluate if anything on here is not accurate. You know what I mean? But what is done is captured in a infogram. The picture graphic representation is helps us see things clearer, right? So let's get into this. Let me go full screen and pull the Brandon down and take a look at this. So it says, right, how to tell if you've been brainwashed into the COVID cult. How many people agree that what's going on right now is creating this cultishness about those that are supporting things and just not asking sufficient questions, man. Where are the questions taking place? I do not hear anything from the government that they are making. Where's the decision? She says, "Oh, you think this is an easy decision for us to go to these lockdown measures and curfews and things? It's not an easy decision. This is the last thing on the table." But where's the rest of your choices? You haven't discussed any choices. You haven't put out on the table. Look, if you do this, you know what I mean? A simple thing that could have been on the table to demonstrate that you're not about a cult is to say, let's get our vitamin D. Let's have your vitamin D measured. That would show me that you're taking some sort of approach towards, you know what I mean? Oh, we could talk about your antibody count and whatnot, which is definitely a real, and they will be more open to that. And not even open to that, which I stress is part of your story of your immune system. Not the biggest part, not the most critical part. Your antibodies play a role in reinfection. You know what I mean? It stores the history of your body fighting a virus. So anyway, or an infection, or just low vitamin D, because whether or not there is an infection out there anyway, is part of the is part of the misguidance that they do. That these people that are involved in this potential, what we can view as a cult, are engaged in. They're so far down that rabbit hole, they're not asking these questions. Is what I'm putting forward, and what this kind of captures, right? So now this is the culture ideology point, right? Number one, or first in the list, irrational belief that a version of the flu or with no or mild symptoms for most people is a threat to humanity. There are people that really feel that this is the worst thing that's ever happened to the world. When we got, you know what I mean? There's more gun violence. There's more, there's so many other things that are having such a bigger impact epidemiologically, statistically, socially, bigger factors than this. This is not the biggest. It just with the outlandishly exaggerated data. Right, using all types of tools to emphasize, calling it COVID-19. Even having this title up here, COVID cult, because COVID is not a thing. They invented that, Brandon, right? I'm sure they went through a process in that Agenda 201, Event 201, and Agenda 21 preparations they've been doing, simulations they've been running to come up with the best name. This COVID-19 is not a discernible disease, clinically unique disease process. It's nothing unique about this COVID-19. It's nothing unique. It's nothing unique about SARS-CoV-2. Not tremendously unique, right? Not that different from the rest of the coronaviruses. Not enough to have all of this that's being built up. Anyway, let's continue on this little list. And then on Outlaw, it's already 7:30. Just go through this list and share this in the Telegram. Get in the Telegram and we'll take the conversation there. I just wanted to present this a little bit and finish up in a minute. And then I'm gonna run that accountable track and let's go to Telegram and start some real work. So anyway, you see the list there. Right, irrational belief that a version of the flu with 99.9% and greater survival rate is the most terrifying disease ever. That someone dying with COVID is the same as someone dying from COVID. These are distinctions with and from, and they just blended it all together. The majority of people that are in that, this is what they believe, if they're in this COVID cult, right? Healthy people are actually ill, but symptomless. So it should be avoided. I mean, this is, how much more evidence do we need to give to that? These are simple, logical exercises we can go through. Evaluate it. When have you had this issue, other than AIDS, which is a very peculiar situation, the relationship with this and the relationship with Fauci, that somebody has this hidden disease that we can't see the symptoms of it, and that they can pass it on. The immune system just doesn't work like that. It's particularly respiratory viruses. Let me emphasize, respiratory viruses don't function like that. They show you symptoms before you can pass it on. You got to be coughing. You don't just breathe out a respiratory virus. Because for it to have a high enough load, it has to be making you ill. For you to have a high enough load. Otherwise, you have no immune system, you'd be dead. You wouldn't be fighting it at all. Well, so what? The things just do not match up. It's just general logic. And there's just so many that will not even go. If you bring this type of information to them and present this and talk it point by point, they just skip over those facts. Never. There's no such thing as asymptomatic transmission. Cannot drive a pandemic. Fauci said it himself. Right. Well, more like the fifth pointer. Billionaires and global pharmaceutical corporations are only motivated by good. Right. This is what they believe. They believe that these people. Oh, Bill Gates. How he's got all this money. Why would he need to make more money? Or why would he need to do this? There is obviously some bigger agenda here that what we don't know, but they have definitely, the ultra elite have profited immensely from this whole situation. Ain't no doubt about that. Anybody that don't believe that Amazon has been killing in this whole situation, or social media, these technocrats, this technocrat aspect of our social construct has been benefiting immensely, hand over foot. They can't even, billions, right? It's ridiculous. While the small to medium business is squeezed to the point, go stay inside, can't do no business. There's an agenda to that. If you line it all up, you cannot ignore the patterns, and that's what we do here on dCyfa. So we're looking at the patterns. People were stepping back. We see it. Whether you want to agree with it or not, it's your choice. You got a choice to agree. But we ain't trying to convince those that don't want to hear it, but we're providing the information for those that are seeking and want to see the patterns. Look at the patterns of these pharmaceutical corporations that are benefiting, right? Okay. Personal freedom of movement, work, and free speech are dangerous. That's what the people really believe. If you have that, you're posing some danger to everybody else. This is this code ideology taking strength, right? Irrational belief that thinking for oneself is dangerous. To trust your doctor. Go to you see how this guy Brett constantly makes that reference. Oh, go to talk to your doctor. Let your doctor, talk to your doctor about what's best for you. They're taking it right out of your hands. You have no sovereignty over your health. No control of your health. That is dictated to you essentially. Your doctor's going to tell you what's best for you. Don't think for your own. Don't do any research. Don't have conversation in groups of you and weighing out the information and evaluating it. No, that you can't do that. You are tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist if you ask questions. This is symptoms, patterns of this code. Of general code ideology, but specifically for this COVID thing, right? Code of conduct, obsessive fear of fellow human beings, right? And avoidance of human contact. This is what the promoting and that you have to follow. Obsessive hand washing and social distancing. I wanted to bring up this issue really quickly, and it's already 7:35, of sanitizing, right? There is this whole push for sanitizing. Directly targeting our immune systems, people. This is as clear as day that you do not need a PhD in immunology to know that your immune system is strengthened by being exposed to things. You get a strong immune system by being exposed. You train your immune system by being out in the environment, and they are directly targeting our immune systems by telling us, sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. As if you are not supposed to. We come from the soil. You come from it, people. It's a part of you. You are a part of that, and you go back to it. It's not the enemy. This whole mentality they're pushing. Hey, this is serious. As serious as a heart attack, they say. This is real. Look at these symptoms that of this mentality and how it is ingrained in the people that are demonstrating this. Look at it. Okay, obsessive devotion to propaganda, right? From this one-sided, state-funded corporate media. That's they will not. Oh, are you getting it from corroborable news source, CNN. Oh, I saw a CNN coverage of the India situation. If you're following that in any way, shape, or form, it is Italy all over again. If you was in this following Italy last year, it is the same thing. They are following the same script. And Brazil. The situation in Brazil, the situation in Italy, the same thing. This is this year's Italy and New York this time around. The Brazil and India piece. Check it. Check the patterns. Think. Ask questions. Research. Check it out. And then we're going to get into reason now. I'm going to just go through these few more points and then get over to Telegram. And start this call. Let's see, we got a comment. Camila says, yeah, Sophia, can I agree at least, but some of us have T cells. I'm not bowing down to any of this whether I get anybody's proven in some test or not. Yes, exactly. So let me see. But some of us have T cells, right? Well, yeah. I mean, I think you're speaking, Camille. I'm sure you're speaking of overall the function of T cells, which, remember, cousins of viruses, close relatives, a variant, which all viruses do. This is what they do. Let me bring up on the screen real quick. This is what all viruses do. This is ridiculously disingenuous to talk about variants like this. That's what they do. You cannot say, it's like saying the color blue is real bluey. Like that's what viruses do. If there is such a thing as a virus anyway, but they alter themselves steadily in their change. In the replication. It's just what happens. Whether you view it from the terrain side, as though you're allowing that those changes to happen in your body because your immune system's not functioning at its optimal, or it's caused by and your immune system's just weaker, right? Or this thing is gaining strength or whatnot. We ain't even going into the gain of function connection that needs to happen. The gain of function laboratory experiments and things that have been taking place and that have surely contributed to some aspect of this situation we're in. Surely, there's no way you cannot deny that, to deny the role that these gain of function experiments had to play in this whole process. Okay, Keish says, right, new to Telegram, how do I tune into dCyfa Wonder, please? All right, so go, Keish, go to this, you know what, I'm going to post it in the Facebook link, the actual, just download Telegram, and then type in this. Download Telegram, Keish, and type in this. dCyfa. The dCyfa. Do a search for dCyfa, and you can join the open groups that are there. And once I see you there, I'll add you to the ones. If you don't go directly into the one we're trying to get into, I'll add you to the ones. All right? Yes. Okay. She says, cool. Yeah. Let's go back. Yes. Nubia, DD. Yeah. This. Greetings. Bless up. I know y'all on the case anyway. Y'all definitely soldier anyway. So she says, what I'm saying is not providing antibodies or not proven antibodies. But I agree there is a value in the natural immune pricing their status. Okay, yes, I got you. I'm proving their status. They're naturally immune. I see what you're saying. Go there to greet them, to demonstrate that they're naturally immune. So when the people come in, we just go and just directly, yes. So anyway, let's take that type of conversation. Definitely, that's the type of stuff we definitely don't want. Yeah, let's wrap that type of piece up and take that to Telegram. I see where this is now piecing together. Canterbury says, funny how the research and study of the immune system and its capabilities is faulty all of a sudden, right? Makes me wonder if viruses were ever real. Look, I'm telling you, Cantor, this whole concept it doesn't meet the full. People that have spent years and years in this science are saying, look, what we thought was not what it is, because it's directly, we see the entities that were involved in funding certain research and whatnot, and what they're pushing right now, and they see the agenda. This is people that are in the inside, that were part of it the whole time. Certain entities were pushing it and driving this idea that there's a virus, because we got the solution for the virus, which is this vaccine. To the point, end game now, where they got this super vaccine, this mRNA operating system program they can put in your bodies, and look at the other stuff, the replication stuff, the self-replicating vaccination program they were working on since when in South Africa and whatnot. It's just this evidence coming together. We need to properly evaluate, take it seriously, and build options, man. It's not a joke. Keisha come, yeah, right. You drop right in and hit it. Keisha come right on the screen. I mean, in the backstage. We get you there, Keisha. I see you definitely. Because you're backstage now. This is in the show. I don't know if you wanted to come here. This is called StreamYard. This is the show, and then Telegram's the other component. But you probably got here by clicking into Telegram. So I'm sure you're in Telegram. Anyway, so yeah, finishing off his statement, he says, each virus seems to be on schedule, a cycle through the ages, depopulate and shift the economy in a minority's favor, right? Yeah. If it isn't war, it's a virus. It is both, rather. Yeah. At the same time, man. When you put this all together and we have these group conversations like this to evaluate it, you see the pieces. Look, today we've been heavy on some research into some movie pieces that have been laid together to program us, and I'm telling you, we saw the signs. They are aiming for our children, and those in the reproductive age group, this 16 to 18-year-old, just about that age span. To make there is a tremendous possibility for sterility in that space. If that's a possibility, and that could possibly happen, we got to pay attention. Feel me? So I'm gonna just finish this up. It's already 7:43. Let me just go through this a little further and just paint out this image, because let's let this go out there, because this is more about the issues and the problems, and then we'll talk about our solutions. All right. In this immediate issue. But okay, I'm just continuing on with this, right? What's the view I've got? Okay, let me make it bigger. Let me go to here big. So the sacrifices, or let me go. I went down too far. So the code of ideology, then we went the code of conduct, right? And we was obsessive mask wearing to hide one's humanity and to signal obedience to the cult. Obsessive avoidance of any temptation to think or investigate facts and truth for oneself. Yes, I see you, Keisha. I see you in the biological warfare group. Keisha ain't playing. Cult objects of worship of daily media propaganda, right? About cases, deaths, and variants. You hear people talking about variants now, like it's, you know what I mean? Ooh, the P1 variant. You heard that? You heard the guy, Bert, talking about the P1 variant now. Man, this is what this thing does. And you heard Dr. Miller, if you guys were listening, you heard it was towards the end there too. Dr. Miller making a statement, look, we could have, everybody needs to take this experimental injection so that we don't have spread here of a variant that created in Bermuda, because we could have a Bermuda variant. Why are you talking about that like it's some special case? That's not the special case. That is the regular case. If there is such a thing as a virus in the first place, what it does is mutate regularly. That's why they need a flu vaccine every season, because it changes. Respiratory viruses, they change regularly. That's what they do. And if they didn't, they created it in a laboratory in order doing this. So either which way, it's nefarious. No doubt about it. But let's keep studying. Let's look at the cult objects of worship, right? Worship of daily media propaganda, worship of lockdowns, and the permanent destruction of millions of jobs, right? People want this. They're begging for it. Some people are literally begging. Lock down the whole island. Lock down the whole country. right? Worship of high-risk experimental vaccines, that they put it up on such a pedestal. You got to get, this is our only way out. This is our, I mean, you're getting too far, bro. If you're saying it's a choice, why are you pushing it so far? Oh, we got to get to the 70%. We could get to the 70% without an injection. There is more ways to become immune. It didn't just happen when they invented vaccines. Because how did we get to humanity here? You think we ain't been facing viruses before it was Western medicine? Come on, these people want to take possession of things that God made. You know something's wrong there. You smell the rat. If you smell the rat, go find it. Clean it up. And that's what we got to do. Something stinks about this whole thing, people. And when we got to step it up. I didn't ask him for permission. Ask him for, right? Anyway, cult sacrifices and offerings. This part. Members must sacrifice their freedom of movement, civil liberties, right? This is what you got to give up to become these sacrifices and offerings. If you're a part of the cult, this is what you give up. Members must sacrifice their jobs, livelihoods, and economic independence, because this is, you got to save, you got to protect the vulnerable, right? Or why wouldn't you protect the vulnerable? Just even if we have to save one, they put you in that emotional state. Make this sacrifice. This has all been done before in different ways, shapes, or forms, right? Members must sacrifice their children's physical and social mental health. Members must sacrifice their bodies to these experimental treatments, injections, right? I don't even call it a vaccine. Members must sacrifice their privacy through this health passport, digital IDs, and contact tracing are there to that list, right? Cult rituals and ceremonies. This piece. Let me break it down real quick and come up. Well, we got more comments coming up. Yes, Nubia says, we are at war, people. Put your war clothes on, which is truth, righteousness, and justice. That is the gear you need. Gear yourself up with truth, righteousness, and justice. Because it's war. It is war. If we don't see it soon, it's going to be too late. It might already be late in the game. Telling you. And but no, not thinking negative. It's always a way out, because Jah provide always. So I'm finishing off this list and then go to that. So cultural rituals and ceremonies, self-isolation, quarantining at the first sign of a cold or flu, right? All of this built in that you gotta, these rituals and ceremonies. This is the big piece. We've been doing these ceremonies. They've been breeding us into, or programming into us these ceremonies. Dancing nurses in half-empty hospitals, like hotels, right? Dancing police to mock you. You saw that, you know what I mean? Not Amsterdam. What was it called? You know that song, the Afrobeat song, Jerusalem, right? All of the world dancing and mocking you right in your face. If the healthcare system was that, they were saying, oh, this is to promote good morale within them. So we took them out and did these dances and things, right? That's what they pushed, Oh, let's lift the morality up of our overworked healthcare workers. Man, that was a blatant just mockery of the situation. Code intolerance of dissenters, right? Non-cult members must be treated as heretics, huh? That division, that gotta put that hate in you. If you see in the commentary, if you saw what Dr. Rowden pushed out there, you saw, and not to focus on it too tough, because her naivety was definitely expressed in this. Definitely prior to that, but this weekend, I don't even know anymore. I wanna give her, because she's young, I give her an opportunity to come out of this, but she's making it difficult to defend her. She's making it real difficult to defend her. I'm gonna tell you, that Twitter thing that started. Truth. Anyway, look, continue finishing this off, because anyone who thinks for themselves and dares to investigate the facts will see that the cult is a fraud. It is being used as an excuse to instill the fear needed to create an authoritarian and totalitarian society. Think for yourself. Wake up and reclaim your humanity. and that's what we're promoting. That ain't nothing here, you know what I mean, cultish about what we're doing. What we're pushing is research, think for yourself, come together as a group and use group think to get around the fact that there's so much misinformation out here. We are being flooded with misinformation, and in order to filter out the BS and the misinformation, use groupthink. Come together as a group. We got different. We got naturally COVID immune Bermuda and the Circle of Women and the different entities out. Bermuda Bermuda Wellness Alliance. You know what I mean? Doing work, right? Now it's just come together, compare our notes, and figure out read out what is being pushed as misinformation to distract us all from the main target, while they sneak in on the side and hit us where it's most vital. That's what I'm convinced. If you're not convinced, then hey, it's your life. But if you are, get in this Telegram, get in whatever groups you're doing, and let's be about it. So it's 7:52. I'm gonna run this track, pull this track up, and then I'm switching over to Telegram, and we do what's called in the biological warfare. We do a group call in the biological warfare. I set that up and get that running when I put this tune in. I'm gonna run this accountable again because it's like the motto that is pushing. Okay, Sophia's in there. I'm coming, Sophia. I see you. She said, "Let's go." She's ready. She's pumped up. You're seeing it, seeing the evidence. So I'm gonna run this here. Run this accountable track again and see you guys over in Telegram. Give thanks for tuning in. Give thanks for being a part of this here. But we got work to do, people. Yes, no issue. Yes, oh yeah, we got your presentation at 8:15. Shucks. So listen, so we're gonna do a quick. Just getting in Telegram, getting us set up. Just get to see how the Telegram works. We're not gonna spend the whole time in Telegram like that. Yes, I forgot. Yeah, I see. Frenchie, I see. I'm skipped over and skipped that step. So we're 8:15, but still, if you haven't signed up, go to. Send the email here. Frenchie will send you the invite to the presentation on the flow, to bring abundance and sharing and gifting between us and get this flow of resources between us. She's been working steadily on that. Her presentation is excellent and informative and useful, vital for as we shift through this step. So this is another link. Go there to the Dream Factory 642 at gmail.com. And she'll send you the Zoom invitation. Is also in another Telegram group on group economics. The Zoom link there, and I think you could post it again, Frenchie, into the Zoom. Yes, you know that. Got you all the time. So we're just gonna go into. I'm gonna play this track, and then we're gonna go into Telegram really quick, and just see how the group call feature works, and then start setting up times. And particularly after we come on, like tomorrow morning, come in, do a session. Although Fridays is just a free up vibe anyway, but go back to the Telegram, and that's where the solutions. That's where I'm seeing the actual planning, strategizing, and get done what we got to get done. All right, and then tune in after that couple minutes, see how the Telegram works. We go over to the Zoom call, and discuss abundance. So give thanks. Yes, Sophia's posted, join Naturally COVID Immunity Bermuda, and send emails also to sophiakenner@gmail.com for the conscious birth wise woman doula training this Sunday. What was the times again, Sophia, for people registering for that? And in the Naturally COVID Immunity Bermuda, they're going to be advertising conducting a workshop on natural immunity and how to support natural immunity, right? And work with your body, work with your immune system. So if you could post that, and then we'll go to I'll pull it up, but I'm gonna pull my camera down, get into Yes, she says 11-3, barter accepted. So whatever services, whatever you could do, you get the training. Get the training, learn about conscious birth, wise woman, doula training. Right? Because fertility and the female reproductive system and being as healthy as possible during that birthing process is nothing but beneficial for us. And this, particularly as they're targeting it with this evidence that they're targeting with this gene therapy. So yeah, in that light, we'll cover some of the bases. We covered. Oh, I wanted to push one piece about the that Aaron Hill kept talking about this group crowd something. He kept calling it. Did anybody remember what it was? Crowd judgment, crowd, and some tool that he was going to be used in there. So yes, French has posted it in the group economics, the link for her presentation at 8:15 sharp. Yes, Sophia says, yes, we are under attack. This is literal attack, not figurative. This is not hyperbole. This is not a trial. It's not a test, people. They're using live runs. So in that note, I'm going to pull my camera down, run some tune. Well, just this one track and then go over to there. Bless up.
I heard the cries of the people. Leaders fail. We the people gonna hold the government accountable. Tell the Queen's Council accountable. We the people gonna hold the pharmaceutical companies accountable. Mr. Constable accountable. We the people going hold the world leaders and scientists accountable. Tell the Queen's Council accountable. With them rush vaccine, Pfizer vaccine, them no care if it hurt you. What that mean accountable? Tell the constable, yeah. Story come to boom, control population stunt. The leaders them not be up front. Bill Gates safe in a bunk, yeah. Over 1 million and not people die, and I know we no see no leaders I cry wonder why. They must be born without eyes, yeah. Them say the world too populated. Them want we get frustrated. Them say every black woman and child and black man should be vaccinated. We never come here for be no human guinea pig, yeah. So live we make we live, yeah. For the evil you're doing in the name of goodness, we know there are crimes, huh? So live we make we live, yes now. We the people must hold the government accountable. Tell the Queen's Council accountable. We the people going hold the pharmaceutical companies accountable. Tell the constable accountable. We the people going hold the leaders and scientists accountable. Tell the Queen's Council accountable. If you rush vaccine, Pfizer vaccine, them no care if it hurt you. What that mean accountable? Tell the constable. All the evil you're doing in a Jesus name, you are going to charge me war crimes. For all the people you trick with politics every day through hard times, trying to do what you did to.
turn the track off. But anyway, give thanks.